Hey guys, what's up? This is Mike again, and I'm here with another comic book review. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day, or like 3 hours ago was New Comic Book Day. So I'm gonna be reviewing Amazing Spider-Man 674 by the creative team of Dan Slott and Guiseppe Comuncoli. Something interesting they did about the cover, they put the world's greatest superhero. I don't know if you interesting. They haven't done that before on the other issues. So the issue starts off with a kid. He's flying through the sky and he starts suddenly falling, and he just hits that he falls, and that's what start and there's a bunch of people talking about how this kid got too big for his britches apparently, and they had to let him go. And then follows up with I believe at the suicide, you go to see Port Authority bus terminal, and a whole bunch of tourists are trying to get into the city, believing that they could get spider powers to be Spider-Man. We then see these emo kids talking to Randy Robertson, Robbie's, I believe, son or nephew. I forget what's his relationship with Robbie. Um, Apparently, he's working with like a youth outreach program, and he understands that why these kids want powers. It's like you're down on your luck, you don't have much going for you, you get the chance to be Spider-Man. They try to jump on that. These kids, emos, goths, they call him a tool, and they leave, they walk off, and this girl propositions this kid. He's like, hey, you want powers, right? You want to swing through the city? Well, I'm going to teach you to fly. And we then see follows up with, I believe, a murder or a body found in Central Park. Carly Cooper's there with I believe the chief of police, the new chief of police, and a bunch of cops. And the chief thinks it's a suicide. Carly thinks it's not a suicide. It's like, this kid is in the middle of the park, dead. It looks like he fell. There's nothing around, no witnesses. It's gotta be something up. The police captain is pretty much a douchebag. I'm not gonna lie. He's a total asshole, and takes her off the case. From there, we see I believe Peter. He's not Peter. The cops go. They see another robbery, or they believe they're tracking a spider person who did not get cured. And when they reach a building, they see Peter, Spider-Man, standing over a dead body. They attack him immediately. Peter disables them, and the police captain comes in with more officers, berating Peter for, blaming him for Spider Island and blaming him for all this trouble, and just states that he hates Peter. He hates Spider-Man. He doesn't trust him, and Peter, although he's an Avenger and he saved New York, just leaves it at that. From there, we see I believe the Kingpin, no, Glory Grant, Jonah's, I believe, secretary. She's going to a rave, and she randomly sees MJ, and the weird thing about this rave is that it's Spider-Man themed. Like, a lot of people are dressed up as Spider-Man, but just like it's like a masquerade rave, like they're wearing masks, or like someone was dressed like the Hobgoblin, someone's dressed like Black Cat. It was interesting. Mary Jane's there. She's doing her thing, being the supermodel. Everyone's got their eyes attached to her. We then see the Kingpin. He's super upset. Spider-Man ruined his plans. He had an army of spider-powered ninjas, and Spider-Man took that away from him. And the Hobgoblin finds this funny. We then find out that he has a spy at Horizon Labs who has stolen the spider jammer technology and giving it to the Kingpin. He suggests that you can use this to repel or contain Spider-Man. We then move on to these kids. They're four kids are flying through the sky. One of them was the kid from earlier who came to the city looking for powers. And these people are flying through the city, and they break into a high-rise, and two of them proceed to kill the occupant, and the other two steal a whole bunch of valuables. From there, we go. After that, you see Peter. He's in the Coffee Bean, which I guess is the Marvel Universe version of Starbucks. he randomly is sitting behind Carly Cooper, which like he doesn't realize until he hears her drink order. They turn around and he calls a truce. They decide to work together about this case. Carly because she doesn't have the authority to work on the case because her boss took her off, and Peter because he needs info, and he can get that from her, and has the authority because he's Spider-Man. He doesn't really need anyone's permission to solve crimes. We then see the kids from the robbery. They go into the rave where Mary Jane is at, and one of the kids, the kid from the beginning of the book who is now named Michael, is enthralled by Mary Jane for a little bit, and then the four winged emo goths go into a back room, and lo and behold, you meet the big bad behind the high string robberies, and it's Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, and that's where the issue ends. So to start off with, story wise, first issue post Spider Island, I felt it was a little bland for my taste. There's that saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. That's exactly what this book is. Peter, although he saved the city, he's an Avenger. He's still pretty much he's now hated by the police, which is things are back to normal. It's like Jonah is back at the Daily Bugle and Peter's back as a menace. Story-wise, though, even though it's a little bland for me, because personally I never liked the Vulture as a character, and even from the first page, you can see the guy's wings. He's flying. The costume is very similar to a low-tech version of the Vulture's costume. I personally never liked the Vulture as a villain, but Dan Slott's got me interested. It's been a while since I've seen the Vulture in a comic, and be a major threat to Spider-Man. Otherwise, story-wise, it's a good it's a good issue post Spider Island. Bringing back a villain from, it's been a while. Refreshing a new villain, or it's not a new villain, but bring back an old villain that people might remember, or for people who don't read Spider-Man, that people might know from the cartoon series. Otherwise, this is a good setup issue for I believe it's a 3-part arc or 2-part arc, I don't remember, but it's a good issue. Story-wise, things are tied up. They mention Spider Island, but at the same time, I feel it's a little lackluster. In the quality that was like the last issue. 673 was really, really good, and this doesn't quite meet up to 673. But I'm pretty sure that it's gonna get better with the next issue, especially since the reveal of the main villain of the arc. Art-wise, not much to say. Comuncoli, he has an interesting art style. His Spider-Man's nice. He's very thin. He's very muscular though, which doesn't really bother me too much. I sort of preferred Humberto Ramos and Stefano Caselli's version of Spider-Man more, just because they're very thin. You can't really tell if they're muscular or not. He's a frail guy. He looks frail, but he's actually really strong. He's proportionate strength of a spider. His Peter is also very interesting. What I do like, the way he draws Peter, interesting. Square jaw. He looks very, very Bruce Timm like. Bruce Timm as in Batman anime series. Square jaw. That's good. Other than that, his characters are drawn very well. Colors are nice. What I don't like about him, although I like the way he draws Peter, I also dislike the way he draws Peter also makes Peter seem like a douchebag. Hair, which it's just not his fault. Maybe it's just me being a little too judgmental, but the way I see, he looks a little asshole-ish in the way Comuncoli draws him. Other characters, we don't see much of the other characters. His Carly is normal, average for a girl, but not much change. I feel that his art style, Comuncoli, is very similar to Stefano Caselli's. Very as in character-wise, they're very realistic. It's not too cartoony. It's very they try to draw, as real as comic books can get, but it's not too cartoony. Otherwise, art was okay. I don't really like Comuncoli as an artist. He did another arc featuring Anti Venom and the Ghost of Jean the Wolf, but I didn't really like that arc. It was an interesting arc, but not my cup of tea. So anyway, so art wise, this book is solid. I wouldn't call it great, solid. So I'm gonna give this book personally a 3.5. No, it doesn't quite like reach the standards of issue 673, in which I feel bad basing this issue coming off of the epilogue of Spire Island. But 3.5 is not bad. Dan Slott's a great writer. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get a lot better. And especially with the Vulture, it's been a while since I read anything about him. I'm interested in what his plan is and why he's using these kids for these robberies when he could just be. I mean, maybe he started being a supervillain. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. The next Spider-Man comes out in 2 weeks, I believe. So, yeah, I'm doing these things weekly now since Spider Island's officially over. I'm also gonna I might start doing Fear Itself. I'm not sure. It's really long. It's like 10 issues long. But I'll figure it out. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment. Do your thing. Subscribe if you like it. Give me some advice, whatever. Enjoy whatever books you picked up, and if you don't buy comic books and this gives you a little bit of interest to start reading Spider-Man, go ahead, visit your local comic book shop. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good time.